Alright, let's try this again. The camera was in high speed or whatever you want to call it. It's like blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm here at the lake. I'm not going to stay here at Miller Pier. Most of the ice is gone. So I'm heading to Lorain for what they call the mile-long pier. And I contest that phrase, that title, because that's for people who don't walk very much. I feel like it's a mile. It's not even close. I'm heading out there because all this ice is melted and it looks boring. I wanted to do some photography since the sun is out. There's some ice out there. I photographed the crap out of that place. It's boring. More action out here. I wish they had a live cam so I could check it out. I got my muffler in the back of the car. Hopefully I don't get pulled over. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm broke. Anyways, anywho, I'll tell you the specs about this adventure. I'm using 3 cameras, 2 Nikon D850s and 1 Nikon D810 infrared. I also have the Z8, but I don't think I'm going to use it. It's got the big lens on it, the big gun I call it. But unless I see some bald eagle action or something cool, it's just going to be extra weight. So when you have this much weight, I have a wagon, a ton of stuff. I'll have 3 tripods, there's 3 cameras, 2 bags, a bunch of beer. It does seem like a mile sometimes, especially when it's like 10 degrees. Right now it's warm, it's 25-ish. Say 25 here, but when you get out on the lake, the wind factor, I don't know how cold it is, but I have a heated jacket. And I got a warm hat today, obviously. A bobcat action. So I will be shooting 2 towards the sunset. A lot of people don't. If you watch one of my other videos prior, I talk about, it's just like a rearview mirror. It's important to like see what's in front of you, but always make sure you're looking behind you. Because a lot of God's fireworks are going on with your back turned. You're not seeing the full show. I'll be shooting the infrared camera towards the sunset, the D850 with an old 24mm f2.8 Nikkor lens with a circular polarizer with 4 ND built in, neutral density in, because I want slower shutter speeds. With the Nikon D810, I'll be using a 17-35, an old lens as well from the 90s. f2.8. I got it in mint condition off of eBay. Anyways, the D810 is a full spectrum conversion for infrared. It's a lot more sensitive to light. So if you do astrological stuff, infrared's pretty cool. And the camera behind me will be the other Nikon D810. With 14-24 f2.8, like my favorite wide-angle lens. It's a Nikon lens. It's an older one, so I have to put a special attachment on for my filters. The last time I was here, I wasn't able to use the filters because they're big squares like this, and the wind was so incredibly strong that I was worried about it blowing into the lake. I worry about my camera equipment like people worry about kids. So, talking about stability just now, I use my own homemade bean bag, but I don't use real beans. A couple different reasons. One, if it gets wet, if the beans get wet, they expand, they mold. Another reason, if you're doing backcountry like I do, you have the risk of animals, especially bears, breaking into your tent while you're in it, maybe. When I was in Alaska, we had a grizzly bear stalking us for 2 days. My wife was totally freaked out. I'm not really afraid of anything, so. But I was out there fossil hunting, and they're all yelling at me from base camp. And I just thought they were excited. Anyway, so I make my beanbag. The beanbag is made out of, when I had my shoulder surgery, I had my arm Kevlar'd in, got ripped out of the socket. And I used that because the material around it, you can use Velcro on it. So you have to Velcro your arm in it. So I filled that with beans from, they're actually those pellets that you shoot out of pellet guns, BB guns, whatever you want to call them. They're made out of plastic. So that's what I use. And I will be using that today. Even though it's not really windy, it's always nice to have the extra stability. Especially when you have older lenses like I do that don't have built-in stabilization, or the Nikon Z8. It has stabilization, but I don't know if it works in conjunction with the Z line of lenses. But that camera's phenomenal. I haven't really been using it on landscape photography, long exposure photography, because I have it hooked up to the 180 to 600, so I'm ready for any kind of action. Being on the lake, you never know what's going to happen. You could have two bald eagles fighting in midair, just anything, so I like to be prepared. So I'll be carrying that, even though I probably won't use it. It's just nice to have, just in case. And we've all been there and done that as photographers. Missed a shot where we're like, damn, if I would have only had a camera. So I have a wagon that I use to haul my stuff down the mile-long pier. I have 3 tripods. I have my main tripod is a cheap ProMaster aluminum with a really right stuff head, ball head. I have a Nimrod that I've had 20 years. It's all beat to crap. I've spray painted it green, and anyways, it lasts forever, but it weighs a lot. It doesn't get as tall as the new ProMaster. The ProMaster is made out of aluminum. I prefer aluminum over carbon fiber for my own personal reasons. Carbon fiber is lighter, but I think there's a lot of hype revolving around it, which hikes the price up. One, I don't like the way it feels. I'm just an old aluminum guy, and it works fine for me. You correlate it with the beanbag, you got rock solid. And so the other one is another aluminum one from way back in the early 90s. It's a Bogan Manfrotto. It's a video tripod, which was given to me by the owner of the backpacker shop. They were cleaning house. Sent it my way. I use it in the studio a lot. The difference between a regular tripod, you know, your legs way out and go flat. This one has a stabilization mechanism in the middle, so it's attached to the post. So you can't get really low, but you have extreme stability, which is what I want out here to combat the wind. For the Nikon D850 with the 24mm 2.8, I'll be using a UC 4ND circular polarizer. because I want to slow the shutter speed down and let some of the colors saturate, and with the polarizer it balances out the white of the ice and the dark shadows, whatever. So you just have more of a mid-tone that you can work with, especially in post if you're shooting raw. Which I'll probably be shooting mostly in HDR until the sun gets really low. I prefer HDR even though it's a JPEG. You can save HDR in a TIFF file on the D810. But anyways, the one behind me will have my favorite lens. It's 14-24, another Nikon D850. I'm not sure what filters I'll put on there. I didn't have any last time because the wind was too strong, and I have the older lenses, so I have to put the big square filters on it, and I didn't want the wind to catch it and ruin my day. I'll probably end up using the case 95mm circular polarizer on that one. And I'll be using that to shoot God's fireworks that are going on behind me. It's kind of like my lesson for today. I wanted to elaborate more on how important it is to always look behind you. Like I said, there's a video, a previous video where I'm doing it, but now we'll see how many people are there. I get distracted. But I can work a little bit better because, one, I'm getting here a little bit earlier than I would normally do. So it's super cold, and it just rained. So I got a new pair of spikes. My spikes broke last time from walking on pavement too much. Well, I had them since at Mount Everest Base Camp, so I got my money's worth. Probably in Nepal they were like $5. Probably less than that. Anyways, what I do is I work smart and hard. So I look down the pier to see if there's any treacherous ice pools. I don't know what you'd call it. Treacherous ice. And I think I can make it without wearing spikes today. It'll probably get slicker as evening progresses, but I think it'll work. I don't think I'm gonna be able to wear my trusty Bobcat hat because it is. I just felt that chill of that lake air, and it's probably. I can't believe there's people. Nah, I can't be fishing. They're probably just sightseeing. It's probably 10 degrees. Yeah. Anyways, it's good to have a pair of binoculars. You can make or break you at certain times. So I always have a pair in my car. Just a tip. So, my steering was acting funny on the way here. Ironically, I just drove by this guy that was pumping his tire up. I got a flat tire, so I have to abort mission, go find a pump somewhere. Damn, I don't have any money. I just filled that tire up yesterday. I wonder if that contributed to whatever. I was just gonna say screw it and go out there anyways, but when I'm frozen, being out in the cold like this for 3 hours, I do not want to deal with something like a flat tire. And this is just not what I wanted. It's not what anyone wants. There's only one gas station here, and it's, no, there's two. This one up here is so ghetto that I don't want to go there. I doubt they even have air. I don't understand why it would go flat like that. There's people walking out on the ice. Well, on an iceberg. Alright, let's get this done with. So air here is $2.50, which I don't have, but like I said, this place is ghetto, and it's not even working. I don't know what my options are going to be. I gotta make sure my boot didn't fall out. I don't have an emergency brake, so let it roll back. My father lives right over there. I guess I'll go see if he can help me out. I don't know what else to do. I don't know if this other place has air or not. I guess I would rather be stranded at my father's. I could visit him instead of being stuck at the lake and having to call for the wife. I have a pump in the other car. Shit. Well, it was a failed mission today, but not necessarily. I had been wanting to visit with my father for a while, and he had an air compressor, so it worked out. I did not get to get my shot that I wanted, but looking at the sky right now, it was kind of, you know what I'm saying, Bern? Yeah, it was good to see them again, him and his girlfriend, and Birdie, Tweety, whatever you want to call the bird's name. It's actually an I have to be grammatically correct, an English sparrow that he works at a school as a janitor or whatever, and he rescued it because the nest had been invaded by something, and it was caught. So here's Bird. I guess his nest is in here in the bathroom where I was relieving myself, and luckily he didn't go after my junk. That's the pet bird. He owns the house.